Yes, I'd have liked to have been a judge. But I never had the Latin. I never had sufficient Latin to get through the rigorous judging exams. They're very rigorous, the judging exams. They're noted for their rigour. People come staggering out saying, oh my God, what a rigorous exam.
He barely changed, in some ways, the judge's summing up in the infamous Norman Scott, Jeremy Thorpe affair, but just enough for it to become insupportably funny.
We have been forced to listen to the testimony of Mr. Norma St. John Scott. A scoundrel, a parasite, pervert, a worm, a self-confessed player of the pink oboe.
One of the critics came and lamented the fact that there wasn't any satirical material in the show. And Peter went off that night and wrote that extraordinary piece about the judges summing up in the Jeremy Thorpe case, and just came in and did it the next morning. And two things. One, no one else could write material that fast. And second, how wonderful he was when he was cross about them.
Over the evidence of the so-called hitman, Mr. Olivia Newton-John, I prefer to draw a discreet veil. He is, as we know, a man with a criminal past, but no criminal future. He is a piece of ordure, a piece of excrement, unable to carry out a simple murder plot without cocking the whole thing.
In a sense, it was the summation of his life in comedy. It's the way he did things, and it also brought out the best in his performance.
It is conceded by the defense that the money arrived. What happened with that, we shall never know. That is his affair, and it is not for us to pry. It will be a sad day for this country when a leading politician cannot spend his election expenses in any way he sees fit. You are now to retire, as indeed should I. You are now to retire, carefully to consider your verdict of not guilty.
When Peter died, the press went on about he was a failure because he didn't have a career in Hollywood. Well, that's not a definition of failure. That's actually a definition of living.
Any single one of the things that he had done were such spectacular fulfillments in their own right that the fact that he didn't keep it up or wasn't able to develop it is neither here nor there. Disappointing for him, sad for us, but certainly nothing, in fact, which one could identify as a failure of promise. He delivered more promises than most people could even hope for in a single lifetime.
So I become a miner instead, a coal miner. But the trouble with being a miner is as soon as you're too old and tired and ill and sick and stupid to do your job properly, you have to go. Well, the very opposite applies with the judges. So on the whole, I'd rather have been a judge than a miner.
He wouldn't have wanted, really, I don't think, to have transformed himself into another sort of person just in order to have lived another 10, 15 years on the planet. You know, he left the party early, I think, is the only way. This is as good a way of saying it.
Now it's the time to say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Now it's the time to yield a sigh. Oh, yield that sexy side. Indeed. Now is the time to wend our way until we meet again some sunny day. Goodbye, goodbye.
think Peter Cook's contribution to British comedy is inestimable. I think he fired generation after generation into a belief that any piece of the turf of this land is right for digging up.
Well, this is no time for false modesty. I agree completely.